Hi Cancer, welcome to your March 2019 Tarot and Astrology reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're a regular here, and if you're new, welcome. Please subscribe. We're doing monthly and mid-monthly readings every month for the first half and the second half of each calendar month. Now, Cancer, March 1st, Venus is moving into Aquarius. Now, you may not feel these energies immediately. Just bear in mind, depending on what degree you're born at, if you're born at the very beginning of Cancer, you might feel this quite strongly. But with Venus entering Aquarius, although Aquarius is a very liberated, very freedom-loving, very rebellious, very based on emotional intellect rather than heavy attachments, and to you love attachments. Aquarian energy for you would be 8th house energy, most likely. For some of you, it'll still feel quite 7th, so don't worry about losing out in that beautiful Venus and Capricorn energy, which puts focus on your commitments. This energy is a bit more intense. You might be seeking greater intimacy, a bit more depth in your relationship. Some of you may be going into self-preservation mode. The reason I say that is because when Venus was in Capricorn, there was aspects to Saturn around the full moon, right? In Virgo, you know that full moon, because I think a lot of you had a bit of upheaval in terms of your commitments. Some of you maybe realized you were in a bond that wasn't meant to last, it wasn't going to work. Some of you may have had big changes in your commitment area, and that sort of feeling may make you want to go into self-preservation mode for a bit of March. Because with, how do I put this? You may be seeking with the full moon in Libra at the end of the month, and we'll go into that more in the mid-monthly reading, but you'll feel a need for privacy that's very, very, very strong. And if you have children, you'll feel a need to be with your kids, with your family. You need a strong support system with that full moon, because that's what's going to make you feel more complete. If you feel like there's something missing in your family situation, or you're feeling unhappy about it, the full moon is going to make you very aware of it to the point you need to figure something out. With Venus being in Aquarius, you may feel elements of jealousy, suspicion, and this depends on the healthiness of your relationships, by the way. It's not just going to happen for everybody, but it's a brilliant month for looking at how healthy your relationships are and what you could maybe do with changing a little bit. It's a great month for reflection in general, actually, because Mercury is retrograding in Pisces. It starts retrograding on the 5th and the 29th degree, so that's quite an intense energy that you'll be feeling around the 5th and the 6th, particularly as there's that new moon in Pisces. So be wary of trying to read between the lines on absolutely everything, because you might get it wrong. You might lose the bigger picture. So decisions aren't really, making big decisions, I would wait until the very, very end. We'll talk about that in the mid-monthly. But out of jealousy and suspicion, just be wary of reading between the lines too much. Try and keep a focus on the bigger picture. This new moon in Pisces is a beautiful time for planning a trip, a holiday, or vacation that some of you may desperately need. It's also a great time for throwing yourself into new studies, new information. And when Uranus moves into Taurus, you may already be feeling this energy because Uranus, up until then, is in the 29th degree, which is quite intense, of Aries. And that is your career sector. So there's been big changes, big surprises, like big changes in your career. You might have learned something that really surprised you for the better or for the worse. It really depends. But then the emphasis moves on to maybe sorting out through a few unhealthy friendships. If you're keeping people along for the ride that have been a little bit less than loyal, for example, might be a good time to kick them out. And I don't want this month to sound scary to you, because it's not. It's beautiful Piscean energy. You're actually going to feel pretty good, okay? You're going to feel pretty good about your decisions. It's just that in terms of your greater life plan, it might be good to shed some dead wood, if people have been less than impressive in your life. If you understand what I mean. I hope you do. There's going to be a big emphasis in the end of the month on your career, and you want to make sure that you're surrounded by people that are supporting you rather than pulling away from you. Also, Venus is going to move into Pisces at the very end of the month. That's something to look forward to, okay? So, Venus in Aquarius can actually be so good because it can give you this beautiful intimacy with your closest relationships if you've been seeking that. But as I say, just make sure, Cancer, that there aren't people you're keeping around for the sake of keeping around. If somebody is a friend or a lover that feels like family, but they're betraying you all the time, or they're making you feel like crap all the time, but you feel like they've been there long enough that they deserve a spot at your table, maybe reconsider that, because that could do more harm than good. But nevertheless, Cancer, there's a beautiful emphasis on changing up your location, your vibe. It's actually pretty healthy. It just, Piscean energy is so good for you. But you like to have some sort of direction with your emotions. And if you feel like someone's constantly throwing you off guard, just be wary of that this month. But also, as I say, don't read between the lines too much because you might be wrong. There is a need to keep a bird's eye view. So we'll get into that in the cards. Let's see what we've got. Justice, Ace of Pentacles. What's helping you is the Emperor. What's challenging you is Temperance. And the outcome is the Six of Wands, which is success. So your cards are beautiful. But, and underneath we have the Nine of Pentacles, but with Temperance in the challenge, something feels very raw. Okay, it could be to do with a Libra, or it could be to do with an Aries, or someone very Aries-ish in temperament, or even Sagittarius. But we don't need to go into the signs too much because that's more to do with the extended, but we will, when they come up, we'll pick them up for you. But with Justice in the beginning card, I do think a sense of karmic balance, karmic duty, a real element of fairness has been pulled into question, and I think you feel someone's been less than fair, and now you're getting your backbone back. But it hurts. Okay. With the Emperor and the positive, I do like this because I think you need a little bit of Emperor in your life, Cancer. You need to have some order, you need to have some clarity, you need to establish some boundaries. When I see this for Cancer, I really like it, With Temperance in the challenge, even though we have the Six of Wands, which is success on the material, success in terms of people getting their karma, you getting back on track, I do feel like it hurts. And you're resisting some real healing. And there's some reason that you maybe keep letting people into your life that mess things up, or, aren't giving you the love you deserve, or aren't treating you fairly. And with Temperance there's something very significant about asking for help from maybe more divine sources than the people around you. Your relationship, whatever your belief system is, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in the universe, whether you believe in angels, whichever it is, there's a need to ask, and you're not asking. It would be something that would benefit you to feel connected and feel like everything's happening for a reason and that there is a plan, because you are trying to establish order, but as a water sign, Cancer, you do have this emotional beauty that needs to be expressed in many forms rather than just through your work, just through your career. And you will be becoming a real boss. I know you are. It's interesting, actually, I noticed online, just in terms of the world of celebrity and whatever, especially those with a Libra moon, Cancerians have this real ease with pulling in fans. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. But I think of, YouTubers like Shane Dawson, singers like Ariana Grande, and, I think about Princess Diana and all these Cancerians that have this real pull on people. And you have that pull on people too. Regardless of whether you're a celebrity. So you can pull in a lot of support and a lot of fans, but don't associate it with love per se, because you're looking for something deeper with Venus in Aquarius. Focusing on the deeper side of your relationships and not just somebody who's along for the ride when it's going well. Do you know what I mean? Jupiter in your 6th should be opening up some lucky day-to-day activities from time to time. It should be opening up career opportunities, the way you work, working smarter rather than harder, that type of thing. Cancer. Let's see, Justice, Ace of Swords. Yeah, I think you've cut people out. Four of Swords. What's helping you is the Page of Wands. Possibly a child. Possibly an Aries child, actually. Possibly an Aries in general. Possibly fire signs in general. The challenge, again, the Six of Pentacles, generosity. Yeah, you guys are so generous, and I don't think it's been appreciated completely. The Chariot, this is awesome, because this is you. This is you channeling forward. The Chariot and the Six of Wands is success on a very high plane. Very, very high, especially when you're a Cancer. I do notice that underneath we have death, so there's this element of transformation and transition that has felt very, very consuming. But now you're ready to move forward. Now you're ready to get into momentum. You've made a decision. You've made some rules and you're going. But don't forget that you have to heal as well. There is this old saying that, when you're heartbroken, keep yourself busy. But there's nothing to say you have to be positive all the time and you have to be completely 100% fine, because with Temperance and the Six of Pentacles, I don't feel like you're fine. I feel like there's something that's really... It could have been grief, of course, with death here. But when I think about Temperance and the Six of Pentacles, you're not giving yourself enough self-care. You're not giving yourself time to breathe. And that could be rushing into a new relationship. That could be rushing into a new job. The elements of drive here, you've got your Cancerian claws out. You're ready to go. You are a cardinal, so you are a leader in many, many ways. And people underestimate Cancers, which is really stupid. And I actually think, though, that's not a bad thing, because it gives you time to climb without people necessarily noticing. Just because you're going sideways doesn't mean you're making it to your target. Do you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden Cancers are at the top of everything and people are wondering, how did that happen? They're really soft. But you're driven. You're so driven. If you're looking for a time for career peaking, real emphasis on that here. Going from success to success, which is exciting. Don't doubt that. And you are changing up the way that people treat you. Justice and the Ace of Swords, you're cutting through the CRAP. The Magician just popped out as well. So if you're dealing with a Gemini, that's significant. But it also signifies manifesting a better life for yourself. Getting clear on your goals, getting back into the law of attraction, getting into positive vibes, positive mindset. But just remember, positive people do have bad days too. They just don't let them rule everything. There's no point in blocking off all your emotions. You can work through them and you can work through them in a healthy way, but there's no need to distract yourself completely to the point of ignorance. Queen of Wands, there is an emphasis on fire. Let me see. Three of Swords, yes. There's been some sort of heartache. Knight of Pentacles. Seven of Swords in the challenge. And the Page of Swords is the outcome. Let's draw one more because I don't like leaving it on the page. The Eight of Wands. Perfect. And the Knight of Swords, drama. Drama. There's a lot of drama, actually, in this reading. There's a bit of deceit, I have to be honest. And I don't know why. So this could be somebody in your life or in your past. The element of deceit is bubbling up to the surface. It could be with Mercury retrograding. People that deceived you are suddenly back and want to talk about it or want a second chance. There's some kind of deceit you've not healed from, is what I'm seeing. Some sort of deceit that you might be embarrassed by because you gave so much and you wonder why you gave so much to someone who was constantly doing you a disservice. Don't let somebody pull the wool over your eyes anymore, Cancer. I think the Virgo moon was possibly very, very illuminating for you, particularly in your friendships. Particularly in your relationships in general. Very, very illuminating full moon. There's an element of embarrassment to this for you. And you're kind of, why should you feel embarrassed because someone else was not acting as a decent human being? That's not really fair. I do think you're going to bury yourself in your work. You do have a lot of people that are loyal. As I said, you figured out probably in this full moon who your real friends were. This sounds very dramatic. I'm going to go to the success part because the outcome is the best part of the whole thing. It's just getting the whole picture in. So, 6 of Wands, Chariot, Page of Swords, 8 of Wands. Moving forward ruthlessly. Do be wary with Mercury, especially if you have a lot of Gemini on your chart. Do be wary of spurting out some venom online. You might regret that. Giving too much information away online. You might regret that. Because there is gossip coming through from more than one source. So there's kind of I heard it on the grapevine element to this. Wouldn't recommend swimming with sharks. Keep your circle small and share your success with those that are tried and true. I think this is pretty impressive. It's like you get your mojo back and you just go. I actually think, as scary as that sounds, in some ways, Cancer, you're going to feel more yourself than you have in a long time. So whatever it is that you're doing it right. Emotional freedom. You're releasing yourself from restrictive emotions, restrictive commitments, things that are making you feel less than powerful. You're releasing yourself from what is not giving you the best life that you deserve. You're feeling better. True love. True love. There is someone in your life that is true and authentic, someone worth loving. And, if you guys have come through a very dramatic breakup or whatever, there's love on the way. This makes sense. Bridget, don't back down. So don't back down in your belief that love exists. Okay, Cancer? For some of you, it's an earth sign coming in. For some of you, there's a bit of an age difference. But I do feel like there is love coming in, actually, You just have to make sure that you are ready for it and that you're not sticking around with people. Because if you're sticking around with someone that's not true to you, I sort of get this impression that you're actually going to miss out on something like that. So, make sure that you are open to believing in true love, to be believing in compatibility. The amazing thing about this is when you are authentically yourself, Cancer, you are completely you're the dream for so many people in terms of what they want in a partner. So believe that exists because you have a lot to offer. But get out there, get going, get enjoying your life, concentrate on your successes. Don't bury your head from emotional healing, but don't back down either. Stand up for what you believe is right. So I really enjoyed that reading, Cancer. I hope you got something from it. It's very powerful. I think that the mid-monthly for March is probably going to be quite different in many styles because I think this is you charging forward into a new arena, and I think the energy is going to be fresher, which I like a lot. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Just remember that you are who you are and you deserve people to meet you for that, and you deserve people to give forward who they are rather than who they're pretending to be. Make sure that you are taking self-care, make sure that you are healing yourself, and make sure that you don't have this belief that everyone's out to get you. The longer you stick with people that are like that, the longer your belief will linger. So be emotionally free. Set yourself free. Venus in Aquarius and emotional freedom makes a lot of sense. So I love you guys. I will see you in the mid-monthlies. If you want to join me in the extended where we go into each element, please do. And if not, I'll see you in the mid-monthlies. Bye.